Hello, I'm Omar here at Paintball Extravaganza 13, and you're watching Night Shadow Productions.
It's time to play the game. Time to play the game!
Okay, we're here at the Rap4 booth now, and you see all the nice markers here. They have a new marker coming out soon. It's called the 468. I'm here with the creator, Omar. He's going to take us with a little overview of the gun and a few surprises of it. He tore it down yesterday, and it's amazing. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good.
Morning.
Okay, so let's go over here and let's show this 468.
Alright, so the 468, again, it's basically an M4 AR-based marker. Okay, it does have a couple things that make it a very good training system, and what I've been seeing, that anything that's a good training system for military, it really carries over to mil-sim paintball, and that's really where this thing is going to shine. A couple things, as far as when paintball is concerned, paintballs are fragile. They do break in the barrel, they do break in the chambers, so the great thing about this system is that you're able to break it down very easily to get to all its components, clean everything, and basically absolutely do everything really under a minute in most cases, okay? Breaking down to get to the barrel is really as quickly as taking the bolt carrier out. At this point, you're able to run a squeegee right down through the barrel, the bore, take everything and clean all that. So in case you do have a chop or a barrel break or anything along those lines, you're able to access it and clean it right away.
Well, let's get the camera over here so we can see more. Yeah, I think that's a better shot there. Yeah, that's good.
Absolutely. All right, so we already went and took out the bolt and bolt carrier. Another advantage to this system is because it is an upper and lower receiver system, you're able to change your upper receiver and change it to other roles that you may have. Let me get around you here for a second.
Oh, I'm going to go back.
So let's say you have a more of a sniper setup, a longer barrel, rifle, and so forth. Again, you're just able to take out the upper receiver, just like we saw in that one, change it over, and it's really that simple as far as if you have multiple setups on your system. Barrel's a little long.
This is like driving a fast car. You always have a smile on your face. This is
indeed. Basically, the 468 right now is catered to use 3 types of magazines. Our first generation magazines are the T68 style. Sorry about that.
Right.
Okay. Our T68 style, the wind up with the winder and ratchet system. Scarab's Arms magazines are now a possibility with the 468. And of course, the newest and probably longest awaited product for us is the D-Mag. D-Mag is a magazine that dual stack. The intention for this magazine, the concept for me was really to be treated like a pod. Once you remove the magazine, just toss it, decide to pick it up later. That way you're not wasting any time fiddling around, putting in a dump pouch or anything and getting shot at that time. This is especially true again with military training, and again anything military training just spills over to this. Okay, this is the 468, the little receiver, firing control group. In this case, this is a striker fire system versus a hammer for the M4. It's all in the lower receiver, okay? Of course, be very careful once you have it disassembled, because this is actually a fully aired up system that we're looking at here right now.
Yeah, it's fully aired up.
So of course, it is definitely recommended that you remove the air source anytime before you work on it. But with the certification and training, you are able to use it this way and get the most out of it. Velocity adjustment, well actually we'll do velocity adjustment at the very end. Right now we're going to do a full breakdown of the system.
Let's get a close-up of this here. Breaking it down.
Alright, here let me actually get back to where we were. This is your 6-position adjustable buttstock. Buttstock, air source in the buttstock as well. You basically depress this button right here. Remove these 2 parts. Now you have access to your velocity adjustment and basically your whole firing mechanism. Press in, do a little turn, come out. Basically your velocity adjustment plus your main drive spring comes out. Remove this pin here, okay? I think the adjustment of the tank is a little bit off to the side here. So basically we just want to align this so the tank, there we go. Now I went too far the other direction. But
This magazine. Wow.
Always happens when the camera's on, eh?
of course. In any case, I mean, it does happen. You do have these dials right here. We recommend that you use a Ninja Pro regulator because it has a smaller dial and you basically can get around it a little bit easier.
And I noticed too, you're not using any tools at all.
No, it's a pretty much toolless system all around. Okay, I do gotta remove this in a better way. So, if you do get stuck with the fact that it's not coming out the back, just turn your regulator a little bit off to the side. Now our striker is completely out of the way. A good thing to look at the system. This system only uses 2 seals or O-rings throughout the whole system to make it operate. One is on the striker, and another one is your actual poppet, which is in the front of the valve system here. Every other O-ring here is put in there for efficiency and to just basically, get more shots out of your air tank. But again, to make it operate, to make it go bang, you only need to be concerned about striker and your poppet itself. To gain access to your poppet, let's go ahead and do that now. We'll take off the air tank.
Alright, of course it's going to be air efficient too with the poppet though.
Correct.
Yep.
So we remove the air tank. This is the only place where I would say it still requires some kind of a tool but it's no longer, you don't need an Allen key, you need anything that can push this pin out. That's just all you really need. It's a little tight in there, of course. Let's use this for a second.
So just like if you're changing your trigger,
yeah,
you got
correct.
the pop-out pin, same thing, yeah.
Just a pin. At this point we remove the valve cover and your poppet comes out. Okay? That's a full breakdown. Actually, you can see completely down the whole board of the system, and that's pretty much all it is right there. So go ahead and reinstall it now. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at the mechanism for the DMAG. There's a spring right here. Okay, so just for the assembly, everything is toolless, so there's a little hook on it. It just slides on. Again, this avoids the need of having these little tiny screws or anything anywhere. So at this point, you just make sure that's on there. And that's pretty much it on that one. There is a hole to align the pin that we just removed. Okay, just align it.
Now you do need this part for the DMAG, right?
Yes, this part right here is a DMAG specific. So when you are changing between magazines, this is something you must do. Okay. However, like for some of our other things, put that in there. Just basically gotta make it flush, like it is right there. Now, advantage of this is when this is pressurized, that actually will lock up and it will not be able to take it out. But again, never work on these parts when the marker is pressurized. This is basically the best bet to do. Okay, so this again is airworthy again. At this point, you're able to actually check that by go ahead and installing an air tank. I don't know if you heard the air
I did, yep.
too at this point, so we know that this is ready to operate. Okay, remember there we go. Okay.
So is it just the 468 you can do this with?
As far as I know.
Okay, great. That's amazing.
Okay. Same problem, so we want to make sure that we don't have any of the bleed off valves or anything in the way when reassembling it. Okay. When you reassemble it here, you basically got to get past the first sear location and to the second one. Once that you see that location right there, you're basically ready to start your full assembly. It's good to put this one in first, that way you don't misalign anything. See that? Okay. Just put this forward, that way it's easier for us to put the spring in. There's a little buffer that goes. It's probably easier to just take your whole velocity adjustment, put the buffer through it. And again,
So you can do, you need no tools at all, you can do this right in the field.
Correct.
Not in the field, I mean on the field. I don't think you want to take this part in the field.
Yeah, in the field would be a little bit, it can be done, but I'm sure with goggles and everything else, it's going to be a little bit complicated. But again, so this is actually a full firing system at this point. So again, be very careful. Be sure to get certification if you are going to be using it this way. Again, we always suggest just go ahead and remove the air source. I did an air check to make sure that it was working, but it's always the best bet to just remove the air source altogether. Of course, it's pressurized, it's a little bit hard to remove. Okay, so next thing. The magwell for the D-mag has a trap system inside, and we'll show you what it does and how it operates in a minute, but basically the steps necessary to take it, again, it's all toolless. You just come in, kind of offset. Alright, we basically pre-place, there's this takedown pin right here, pre-place it before it center groove. This right here, we can go from the bottom, place it in there. This is perhaps the most complex part about this assembly. And even at that, it's not very complex. It actually kind of just clips.
Still just clips right in there.
It just clips right in, and at this point, we should be able to just kind of align it, and then pin it right through. Okay, so the trap system, the mechanism that makes that operate, is in there. No tools. That's what it is. All right. Okay. So again, now we are able to replace. Well, actually, before I do that, it's not needed, but it's. This is an upper-lower receiver. Finish your low receiver first, and then do any other part, I would say. Okay, let's line this back to the bottom. There we go. Again, if you want to avoid a lot of alignment not issues, let's say, but if you want to avoid having to deal with such a big dial, again, I recommend the Ninja Pro Regulator. They have a tiny little dial on there. It'll make your life a lot easier.
You have a collar on this too, so you can't push it in and strike velocity?
Correct. This is actually very good and very important for you refs to know about. This little collar right here prevents this bar from pushing in. Since this is actually your velocity adjustment and also the mechanism that holds it in place, you want to avoid somebody putting it in a buttstock directly to here. And because if they press in, you see how there's that movement forward? That movement forward will affect velocity. So even if they chrono at a lower speed, by them doing that, it would change the velocity to a higher reading.
So you know what, like you said, for all the rest, if you don't see this, if you see a 468 out there in the field being used, you don't see this collar in, I mean, it's not, as you're walking around, you see stuff, right? Take a second look at the marker.
Right. So, especially for that. And even for the player itself, when you're changing the velocity on the fly like that, you're changing your consistency, your efficiency of the marker, so it's not the right way to gain any sort of velocity increase. If you want to do that in a safe way, go ahead and refer to your user manual, and that's basically just the best way, and you have other methods of doing that. Again, low receiver is now completely assembled. Alright, now I can show you the D-mag and kind of how it operates. Again, so this is the D-mag, it's a dual stack system. This comes in currently 2 configurations, so it's 2 7-round stacks, 2 10-round stacks, being 14-round or a 20-round magazine. Okay, as the magazine is inserted into the magwell, it basically allows the follower to release and it inserts the paintballs into the chamber. You will actually notice a tab down at the bottom. If that tab's sticking out, everything should be working properly. Okay. Again, the way this trap system works, as you remove the magazine, and we'll see that once it's fully assembled, it does not allow the projectile to go through that chamber lock, let's call it.
And you're holding it straight up, it's stuck right in there.
Yeah, correct. So we're straight up and down, and it just holds it in there. And this applies to first strike rounds, or shape projectiles, or paintballs. And this is actually really good. If a paintball happens to fall through this thing right here, don't use it. It's too small. It's going to cause you other kinds of problems. Undersized paintballs are a problem because you have 2 paintballs stacked onto each other in the path of the bolt. You can pretty much pre-fracture the next round if you have that. So this is kind of like a bore indicator, like at the very threshold limit. If it falls through this trap, don't use it. All right. Actually lost one there. All right. Another thing to consider, the lock bolt system lock bolt is a mechanism. It's kind of like a set of mechanical eyes for us. I'll show you how that works here. Let me borrow my trusty pin from my bolt carrier there. I don't know if you can see that, but I can slam on that as much as I want. If there's not a projectile in the chamber, the bolt will not go down. In fact, even if there's a projectile somewhat in there, it still will not work. The projectile has to be properly chambered for the bolt to go forward. Now, the ball went through.
Wow.
Okay, so that's kind of like a set of mechanical eyes. Again, this is really reduced or
mechanical eyes.
Basically.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, if the ball is not chambered really at the very top, and actually we're going to go ahead and look at this to the side here now. Again, you might want to get a little bit closer for this part right here.
This one.
There's a little bar right there. There's a round in there. But again, it's not properly chambered. No, and we're losing it now. Okay. So as long as it's not properly chambered, it will not go through. It actually requires this pressing in. Right? Now this can be pressed in from a force-fed loader like a box magazine or any standard magazine out there, and then of course it will shoot and we have our projectile out the barrel. So again, this has done wonders for us. I mean, it really has nearly eliminated the chance of a chop. Barrel brakes, we haven't quite figured that one out yet, but we're trying. All right. Okay, let's completely assemble this, and I'm going to show you the trap system and how it actively works. Okay, I'm going to ask you to step on this side for me because this is a live marker, fully aired up. Safety is still important.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, again, marker. Again, we're fully assembled, by the way. That's all it really took. Swing it over, clip the pin in, and that's all it takes. Magazine. We're going to use a fully loaded magazine now. Again, I'm aiming in a safe direction. There's nobody behind this backdrop. We have a fully loaded D-mag.
I'm going to step right back out of here.
I don't know if you saw, right there in the chamber, there's a chamber indicator. It shows that the paintball is loaded and it is working. It did load. Now, I'm going to remove the magazine. To remove this magazine, there's two locations to do it. You have an ambidextrous mag release, so for left-handed shooters, you're able to access it on this side. Right-handed shooters, your standard M4 AR-15 location. So we're going to go ahead and remove the magazine. Normally, with any other magazine system, you would be dropping rounds either from the magazine or from the chamber itself. Here, we retain the rounds in the chamber. So there is no... So you can do actually a chamber check. You're firing, you want to see if you have ammo, you check, you're good. You would go back inside, and you're ready to go. Thank you very much. This is the 468. We're really happy about this product. It is coming out in March, and again, we're very excited. I think it's going to be a great training product, a great system for Millstone Paintball. Thank you.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. So the Rap4, sorry, safety first. The Rap4 460, I can't turn it around because it is loaded right, or there is air in it right now. Here, I can do that. Sorry guys, it's upside down, I know. And it's coming out
in March.
In March.
We haven't given a release date exactly yet, but we will be giving out on the first of the month, 1st of March.
Price point, or are you going to give that?
Price point in its basic configuration, so an M4 style. Let me go ahead and look what one looks like. So M4 with its carry handle, with the remote light setting, will actually be $468.
Wow, that's it, eh?
468, kind of falls in there.
Well, thank you, Omar, for the 468.
Hello, I'm Omar Macy from Rap4. We're here at Paintball Extravaganza 2013. I am the R&D engineer for Rap4, and here we're showing some of our products like the 468 and some of the packaging, how it comes with it. Of course, the packaging will come with a cardboard box with a pre-cut foam. The lid actually doubles as a work stand for your marker, so you're able to you can take this down. So, for example, you can take it down, get the bolt out, basically do all your servicing on it. Okay, something like that. The way that it comes, basically, you have an upper and lower receiver. You have space for multiple magazines. You can fit 14 magazines of any variation, meaning the T68 classic mags, Scarab mags now, millstick mags, D mags, so they all would fit inside here in any of their lengths. Space for probably some optics like an EOTech or maybe an ACOG or something like that. Mock suppressors. So again, it's a very well planned out case. You're able to basically just store it all in a very nice way. And also just kind of, and this of course will fit actual firearms. It's all pre-cut for different lengths of handguards. So you can go from a standard 7-inch carbine to about 13-inch sniper setup or a dedicated marksman. Again, so we're very excited about the 468 itself, how it works, the serviceability of it, and also even the thought that's gone into it, even into the way it's packaged. I think would be very nice for the users. And so again, thank you very much.